Law & Order is one of the most successful drama franchises of all time. It was the first to show both the investigation into crimes and how the court judged the criminals. It was so popular there were several spin-offs, and Law & Order SVU was one of the best. It showed emotional stories of abuse. The entire cast was great, but Mariska Hargitay is a fan favorite. She and her character Olivia shared complex personalities, protecting their hearts due to past trauma, but working to help others from facing the same problems. Keep watching as she opens up about her tragic past. Famous parents. Mariska is the daughter of Jayne Mansfield and Mariska Hargitay. The bombshell and bodybuilder seemed like a perfect pair. Tragedy struck early, however. Mariska had wonderful years to spend loving them and difficult years overcoming the pain of losing them. Jayne was a bombshell of the 50s and 60s film scene. She met Mickey, a bodybuilder and Mr. Universe winner, when her career was at its peak. After winning Mr. Universe, Mae West asked him to join her Las Vegas show, the Mae West Review. Jayne saw him perform and was smitten. When asked what she wanted to eat that night, she reportedly said, "I'll have a steak and the man on the left." They were married January 13, 1958, at the Glass Wayfarers Seaside Chapel in Los Angeles. It was a relatively small ceremony for Hollywood elites, with only 100 guests. The couple purchased a mansion on Sunset Boulevard and transformed their 25-room home into the Pink Palace. Jayne once said it was like, quote, living in a wonderful powder box. Many of its heart motifs showed off their love. They included a living room wall with J and M surrounded by two cupids and a 40-foot swimming pool with "I love you, Jayne" written on gold foil on the bottom. They also began appearing in movies together. A few examples are Promises, Promises, Will Success Spoil Rock Hunter, and The Loves of Hercules. They had 3 children, Mariska, Miklos, and Zoltan. She had a daughter, Jane Marie, from a previous marriage, and Mickey also had a daughter, Tina, from a previous marriage. They often brought them along with their work, including to an episode of The Merv Griffin Show in 1966. Mariska appeared for her first on-air interview at age 2. How they died. Jayne died in a car crash on June 29, 1967. It was Mariska's first brush with tragedy and a close call for her own safety. The driver and Jayne's boyfriend at the time, Sam Brody, also died. She and her brothers were also in the car and were injured but lived. They lived with their father, their stepmother Ellen, and 3 half-siblings. It was a relatively happy family dynamic. Mariska called Ellen Mom and said she, quote, embraced and loved us so quickly. She was grateful to have another mother figure in her life. Mariska says her mother's early death had a major impact on her. She learned to live with loss by, quote, leaning into it and accepting the feelings it brings. She also believes her mother is with her every day. Someone once told her that all she had to do to remember her was to look in the mirror. Her father, Mickey, also died after a long battle with cancer in 2006. Before that, he appeared on Law & Order SVU's landmark 100th episode. He played a witness who gave a statement to his daughter's character, Olivia Benson. It was his final role before his death. How she honors them. Mariska credits her father for her strong work ethic. Finding roles was difficult before breaking out on Law & Order SVU, but he always encouraged her to keep trying and told her their family didn't quit. She even called him a hero, saying Wonder Woman was the female version of him. He had obvious physical strength, and he was also emotionally strong. He was dead set on achieving his goals and gave her valuable advice on how to achieve hers. Mariska's bond with her mother deepened after she became a mother herself. She and husband Pete Herman have 3 children, sons August and Andrew, and a daughter Amaya. The bond she's developed with them has helped her understand the love her mother had for her. She also wishes the world knew Jayne as more than a sex symbol. She could play the violin, had an IQ of 160, and raised 5 kids. She sees her as an inspiration and believes she shares her appetite for life. Mariska has strong ties to all of her family members, and it shows even in her name. She's named after her dad's mother. It means Star of the Sea, or beloved in Hungarian, and is a diminutive of the Latin name Mary. Her career. Mariska was a cheerleader, athlete, and member of student government in high school. She was also active in the theater program and enjoyed acting. She already had an agent and a few small roles to list by the time she was a high school freshman. She attended UCLA School of Theater, Film, and Television, but left before completing her degree. She then went to the Groundlings Theater and School in LA. Her debut was in the 1984 music video She Loves My Car. She then appeared in the 1984 horror comedy Ghoulies and got a main role in the 1986 crime drama Downtown. Her breakout role was in the drama series Law & Order SVU. She's been playing Olivia Benson since 1999. She's won a Golden Globe and an Emmy for the role. She also has a star on the Walk of Fame right next to her mother. Sexual assault. Olivia Benson solved rape and abuse cases with a tough but empathetic heart. It turns out Mariska had her own experience to draw on in making her so believable. She was sexually assaulted in her 30s. It was by a man whom she considered a friend at the time. She revealed the details in a People magazine essay that she wrote herself. She says it was more about dominance and control for him. She tried every method to make it stop. Nothing worked, including charm, making jokes, setting boundaries, appealing to reason, and saying no. He grabbed her by the arms and pinned her down. Mariska said that a true friend later gave her advice that convinced her to open up about her experience. She told her to name everything that happened, and she did it in the article. She took care with every bit of language, such as saying, "A man raped me," instead of "I was raped." She revealed everything about the experience, saying when she was pinned down, her body went into freeze mode, leaving her unable to fight back. Research says this is a common experience during assault. She didn't want the experience to escalate from sexual to physical violence, so she dissociated or quote-unquote checked out of her body. Mariska mentally removed the moment from her life, only speaking about it with her closest friends and family. She recognized it was necessary to get through it. Over time, she gradually began to become more comfortable opening up about it to the world. She also appreciates how People magazine handled the article with grace and respect and tenderness. It's a topic that needs to be discussed, but is difficult to handle appropriately. She spoke about the experience on an episode of the Gutsy docuseries on September 9th, 2022. She admitted she'd only recently started talking about it at the time, but that it doesn't define her. She said in a Today interview that talking about it felt like a weight was lifted off of her. Mariska receives letters from fans who felt a connection with her character and needed help. This convinced her to become a certified rape counselor. She also founded an organization called Joyful Heart. It empowers victims of sexual assault, domestic violence, child abuse, elder abuse, and human trafficking. The organization has since helped over 50,000 women and children and raised over $20 million. Mariska's work also involves raising awareness. She produced a documentary, I Am Evidence, to let the world know about the startling numbers of untested rape kits. She's appeared in NBC The More You Know public service announcements. She also campaigned for the reauthorization of the Violence Against Women Act. Her work has helped her see what healing from her own trauma could look like. Now it's time to hear from you. What part of the story was most surprising to hear about? Let us know in the comments section below.